Hey guys, what is up, and welcome back to another video. Today we're here for episode number 60 of Goattville updates, and I decided to make an updates video because I spent the past couple of hours working on that skyscraper you see right behind me, so I don't feel like doing too much more building, and also because it's been 2 months since the last time I made an updates video, and I figured it's about time that we got back to it, because there's a lot of content that we need to cover on the city. I've gotten a lot done over the past couple of months, but since it's episode 60, you know, one of the 10 markers or something, and I haven't really done a proper one of these videos. I figured I would make this video a city tour, a city of what we have been working on for the past 6 months, the city of Rikadom here in my city. Here's what it's spelt like, if you were wondering that. It's the Norwegian word for wealth, because this city is supposed to be like the economic capital of the world of of Goattville right here. Meanwhile, the other city that I have on the other side of the world is like the political capital. So, you know, I can have two different styles of cities here on this world. So this is the one that's received the most attention because, you know, this is the one that takes up a good portion of the map. The other one is, you know, hasn't been touched in well over a year. So, yeah, I guess we sort of get started with the sort of general overview of it. It's all confined to this island right here, with the little river separating it from the remainder of the land. I think this does good, makes it, does a good job at making a good transition in between the other stuff. So instead of going from like normal suburb into, you know, Manhattan style city, there's a little bit of a separation with like a highway, a little bit of nature area, and then an entire river. So I think it was a good decision putting it on its little island right there. Here is the bridge. There's pretty much the only way of getting onto the island right now. This was the first thing I built on the city. I should probably build another couple of bridges because this is probably going to get very crowded if this was the only one, for sure. But if we go over here, this leads to this little intersection, and right here, this is like the most completed parts of the city right here. You know, everything you see around you is pretty much completed, and there's a good amount of detail on the roads. And one thing I really like about this city is that not only does it look good from, you know, a distance when you're looking at it, but it looks even better when you're just walking on the streets of it, which I don't think many others can say. So yeah, I definitely like how this city has a good level of detail where it's, you know, fun to walk through the streets. You know, it's not incredibly boring as you just go from one skyscraper to another. It's actually kind of interesting. But anyway, let's go over the stuff that I built from 2.5 years ago. It's hard to believe it's been that long, but it has. And this was the first skyscraper that I built. Only like 8 floors, I think it is. 7 actually. Yeah, only 7, yeah. So yeah, this is a little hotel which I built right here. The interior is completely done. Of course, a lot of the buildings here have finished interiors, but that's just because I moved on to the new version of Minecraft where I have world edit and stuff like that. But this one was built before that, so this is a genuine interior. And so is this one right here, which is the second one that I built, and is an office building. So yeah, that's that right there. And then back here is a hotel, which I made the interior to with the world edit, so each floor is pretty much exactly the same. So much the same as in, like, you know, this is 1A, despite us being on like the 6th floor right now, so that's a bit of a mistake. Did I guess that right? 6th floor, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, I did get that right. Wow, that's crazy. But yeah, this is a hotel, which I have right there. And then right next to it is a parking garage, just because, you know, I kind of need those. And I guess we can sort of make our way over here because there's not that much over this way. Over here, I have a train station. This area was originally going to be a stadium, but I just didn't like the way it was turning out, so I decided to get rid of that and put a train station here because I had this massive parking lot already planned out. So I figured, you know, that would be a good idea to put right there. And we have the rails, which run up right next to it, go down to the rail yard, right down that way across the river. And one of these rails actually ends, the one that's closer to here, to the little platform, and the other one actually sinks down and will go underground as it gets down that way. But we'll get down over that way in just a bit. But first, down here, we have the museums, the 2 ones which I started working on like 6 months ago. They're mostly finished, not really finished, but I have the interiors are the exteriors are done. The interiors are far away from being finished. This is the Museum of Goattville, is what I've called it. And this is just supposed to be a museum of all sort of aspects of this fictional world that I have right here, but I found it really difficult to come up with stuff. I mean, I have like the arts section right here, but for literally every other one I couldn't figure out what I was going to do, so I think for the rest of it I'm going to do like some sort of natural history kind of thing, because I built a plesiosaur skeleton right over here and it turned out absolutely amazing. And I can't really think of anything else to do, and there's plenty of new additions with Minecraft nature stuff, so I could easily fill this up with some nature stuff. So yeah, I guess I could just do that, but I'm probably not going to come back to this for a while. And then right next to it, there's even a little tunnel connecting those two, is another museum. And this is called the Museum of the Goat, which is supposed to be like a little museum dedicated to, I guess, my channel and stuff like that. So I just realized I'm doing an updates video, and I don't even have my HUD off. How unprofessional. Where is it? Is it on here? No, I think it's under profile, or I can't. It's under video, yes, there we go. We can keep my hands, that's fine. Actually, no. What? Why is the hotbar showing? What is this? I guess we have to... Oh, I turned off the hand. Oh, okay, that makes sense. But no, I want the hand on. This is such a predicament. But anyway, here we are. There we go, we finally got it. This was, yeah, going to be just a little museum dedicated to the history of my channel, and, you know, sometimes museums have themes. This one is dedicated around Gaia at the current moment. And the Gaia community server was something that I was a part of around 3 years ago. Didn't really mention it. I have one video on my channel relating to it, and that was a tour video I did of a house that I built on it. Yeah, so it was a survival, it was an SMP before they were relevant. And yeah, I had a good amount of fun times on there. There are still a lot of people who watch my channel who got to know me from there, so I figured this would be a nice tribute to that. Nice, enjoyable parts of my life. So for everyone else here, not really going to understand it, but, you know, at least it has some sort of purpose, and it will look nice. So that's really all that matters. And aside from that, in the future, in this area, I plan on building a zoo going around that L shape right there, and maybe continuing down a little bit that way, but none of it's planned out yet. So yeah, that's just a plan that I have for the future that I'm really looking forward to, because I've always wanted to build a zoo in Minecraft, but I've just never gotten around to it until now. I'm finally gonna make it. I've had like the same vision in my head as to what it would look like too, and I've had it for, it's got to be around like 8 or 9 years. So we're finally gonna be able to deliver on that. But anyway, where did I leave off? Over here somewhere. Oh yeah, over here. Continuing down this way, away from the first hotel that I have, we have this little office building right here, which has the interior finished, aside from the first like couple floors, and also the top one, of course. Just another little office building right there. And then over here, we have a parking garage, another one, just because I kind of need those. Oh yeah, I totally skipped over this one. Over here is the Nether Bank, inspired from Dan Lags, of course. So I just put this little skyscraper right here, and I made the entire interior before I switched over to this version, so all of the interior is completely original, and took me an insane amount of time to make. So yeah, that was a bit of a problem, but I do really enjoy the way the top floor turned out, which is the vault. So I think I made a tour video of this on my channel, so you can just go check that out if you want to see a full tour of all of this. Now moving on down this way, we have a couple obscure skyscrapers right here, but they're not really. They're just like 8 or 9 floors of just almost skyscrapers, but not really. Just sort of classic city style buildings is kind of what I'll call them. This one is full of offices, and there's actually a little residency up here that is kind of destroyed. You can still see some small details of it, but I kind of got destroyed in some world editing, you know, processes. So yeah, I could actually refer back to an earlier video and see if I can find it, try and recreate it, who knows. But next to that, we have a couple of other ones, which are going to be residential ones on the top floors, aside from the bottom 2 right here, which will be reserved for shops. And I have that trend going for these ones as well, and for all the ones continuing down this way. So I think this will be like a nice, interesting little part of the city where there'd be like no cars. It would just be all pedestrians, but it would be still really interesting parts of it. There's even a little subway station right here, which goes down. That isn't really that complete, and I definitely need to redo it because it turned out awful. Because why did I make them horizontal? How are they supposed to get over here? I have no idea. But yeah, I'll come back to that later, because I do want to make like a full subway station in my city, but not a lot of work is done, so probably not going to be able to do it for a while. But moving over, where else are we going? I guess we can continue down this way. Actually, no, let's go down here. Just beyond the nether bank, going west, I think this is. We have another skyscraper right here, which is just a standard office building that, you know, just is just here. And then this one, which is completely incomplete, probably going to be another office building. This one has almost the first floor done on here, so it's almost ready to be copy and pasted up, but I haven't quite finished it yet, and it's going to be another office building. And then down here we have another skyscraper, which I have just the interior planned out, nothing actually built, and this is going to be an apartment building, so it's going to be the first one that we have here on the city, so yeah, that'd be something interesting to do. And then right here, this is what I've been working on recently. Spent the past couple hours just fixing this up. I was working on it in the last episode, and I managed to complete the majority of it, of course, aside from the first couple of floors and maybe some details towards the roof and such, but aside from that, the exterior is pretty much complete, as you can see right here, and I think it turned out quite nice. I thought it was going to turn out way too white, but I switched out some materials, such as over here, I made this stuff cyan terracotta, right? Is that what I can't actually see it. Yeah, cyan terracotta. They changed the name of it, I have no idea why, but oh yeah, now I have to change these up for stone brick walls instead of, they were originally diorite, I think, so, you know, it didn't turn out too blinding compared to the other city skyscrapers. And then in between these two ones, because I didn't have enough space for another one, I just decided to put a little park right here that of course is not finished. I just have all this planned out, a little path in an X design because I thought that would look interesting. And then we're going to have like some big trees in here and filled up and make it look real nice. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have for the completed section of the city. And then down this way we have some of the sort of developmental parts of it all that's mostly just in its planning phases. Specifically over here is where the theater is, which I just have the interior of it planned out. I should definitely get back into working on this because I feel like it's going to be a really interesting looking building once we get it all finished. It's going to be really nice looking. And then over here, this is sort of the start of kind of the central park area. I'm going to have this massive driveway running through, which is mostly going to be used for like parades and stuff like that. I think that'll be like the main use, but also just because, you know, it would be pretty awesome looking. And it would just continue all the way down here with just some green space on the side, leading all the way down here for quite a while, past the museums and all, down to here where that massive pole indicates we're going to build a victory arch, or gateway arch, I think is what they're called. I'm not too sure. You know, with the ones that they have in like, you know, Paris or something like that, but it's not going to be exactly like that, of course. I'm going to make my own unique design of it because, you know, last thing I want to do is copy some other, you know, famous design from real life, especially from France. But yeah, I'm just going to put that right there. It'll be a really interesting part of the city, and they're going to put like a palace behind it, which I think will look really interesting. Maybe a city hall somewhere around here. And maybe a stadium sometime too. So I got a lot of ambitious plans for the future. But yeah, at least I got some preserved interest even after all these years working on it. So yeah, I guess that is pretty much all of the city covered. Am I missing anything? I guess not really. It doesn't seem like there's that much when you just sort of speed through everything. But you know, even though I have been working on this for 2.5 years, not this city in general, but like that's sort of the span of what I've been working on. I've been working on other projects in the world, of course, in between then. Pretty much the majority of the world was created in between those times. So, the total time working on this, I'd say was like a year, and all by myself. And you know, with all the details that it has, I think it actually turned out quite nice. And I'm definitely glad to see it. We definitely are going to make some more progress in the future. It's not going to end right here. So yeah, I guess that will be it for this episode. I want to thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you later. Bye.